I'm going to show you my attempt at getting these ICs into those cabinets, to those plastic drawers, without causing a mess. First thing, we can get rid of this. Won't be needing that. That's not going to hurt. Garbage. IC's out. Right. I'm recycling this to act as a anti-static barrier in these trays. Now, the first thing I did was get a damp cloth. It's not soaking, it's not dripping, it's moist. And I rubbed down each drawer as well as the cabinet. I went all around the cabinet, front, back, the sides. I wiped it down as much as possible because according to Google, moisture doesn't let static accumulate as easily as dryness. So we've done the same thing with these foams, which come on AliExpress in a square shape like this. This is the thinner variety. I think it's 3 millimeters. They are claimed to be anti-static, but they're, like the water-resistant watch thing. It's not really anti-static because I was able to make, this is my scrap left over out of one square. This is all that I have left as scrap because I keep the glass cut on one side. I keep it for single ICs, whereas the rest fits nicely in a tray. And I didn't make it super tight on purpose. You'll see why later. So I wipe these. I wipe the foam. It's not wet, and if it is, I just leave it hanging a little bit, let it dry out. These have all been wiped already. So my foam, this is ready. I take the old bag. Now these bags, according to what I've seen so far, have a side. The inside has a coating, a protective coating, to help with the anti-static properties, whereas the outside, let's call it, the shell, but it's the inside that's the really important side. So you gotta pay attention when you're working with it, which side was on which side. I made this template to fit. It's the shape of my drawer with the height all around. So the plan, let's see if it works, because this is numero uno, I haven't done one yet, is I line it up centered as much as possible. I don't cut the edges off because there's a seal along these bags. Don't cut them off yet. I could have sandpapered these a little bit. You can leave the labels on. It's not gonna hurt anyone. Like any safety expert would say, don't try to cut towards yourself. That'll end badly. So you're supposed to end up with a shape that is the same dimensions, more or less, as the inside of your drawer. So then I cut off, excuse the shakes, I cut off the edges. Now I know that this side is my shell side. This side is the shell side. I take this out. I put it on. Put the foam in. And if I take these off, see what I'm doing. Line it up as best you can. And if you push down, you get a drawer that is lined with electrostatic protection. And the last step, because this was just, I mean, it's not a custom shape, it's the width that it is, and it's not as wide as I need it to be. I need it to be, for what I want it to do, I need it to be this wide, but of good surface, have the wastes on the outside of that. So I have to buy a roll later, but for now, this was just a test, because when you cut it, you put it on your template up to the edges, let's say like this, and you could put your strip of Scotch tape down on the 4 edges. Put your foam in the middle, place it in your drawer, and when you push down, the Scotch tape will be ready to be wrapped around. Whereas this one, well, it should work, because I mean, I've got enough room for Scotch tape, but this was just to give you a general idea of how I go about doing it. Hopefully I'll be able to do the Scotch tape routine and that's it. 63 more drawers to go, a whole bunch of labels, and I've got 3 other cabinets, but the other cabinets I've kept it separate because I've wiped this one down everywhere. I even wiped the wall, I wiped the desk surface, but I didn't wipe these, so I don't want any static buildup on those to accumulate on that one. So you try to keep your stuff isolated as much as possible. Ideally, one of those anti-static mats that cost a freaking fortune. My idea was to take a tablecloth and roll it out and just spray it with water very lightly, just so that it has some moisture on it, so that if you do drag something across the surface, it won't accumulate static. Well, that's how it's going on in my head anyways. That's the way I think it will work. Hoping. Thank you very much, and let me know if you've got better ideas.